join us for the select board meeting, which is March 4th. Join the pledges. The pledges of the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you all. Yeah, we have you on for 5:31. So if you want to make your way up here, I'm sure by the time you get up here, it'll be 5:31. 5:31. How are you doing today?
Good.
That's good. Glad to hear that. Welcome. Welcome.
Thank you for the second chance.
Yes. We appreciate you still interested in the position as well.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely appreciate that. So I'll open up to the board members to kind of kick it off, and just kind of go from there.
I don't have any questions from the first time we interviewed, unless Natalie, you have anything you want to add from the last time we interviewed you till now?
There was things I wanted to add because there was a lot that I forgot and I didn't bring my notes like I do now. Do you want me to just kind of dive in?
Yeah, that would be
Okay. All right, so from the first time I was talking about how there's a higher growth of the COA just in general. And there was things that we need to find more services for the people at different ages, between like 55 and 65. And then there's the older group. So I was thinking of things like some hair and nail, like coming from the beauty schools and stuff. Maybe they can volunteer their time and the ladies would like it. And it's another thing where it's a touch thing. Because I noticed that when I work, that people actually get a little shocked when I hold their hands or I move things, because people don't touch people anymore in a good way. And there's another thing like chair massages, because I remember when I was in the nursing home, one of the men who he was there, he could do everything he wanted to do by himself, but all he asks for is a back massage and rub the shoulder. So I was thinking something like that, which is another good field touch, and that people don't get nowadays, especially living alone. I was thinking of a sharps container around here. I know there's one at the fire department, but I know that a lot of my patients will ask, where do I give my sharps? Can I give them to you? And I said, no, we can't take them. So I figured that might be an easier way for them to get rid of them. I know we do Meals on Wheels, but I like to expand it to more people. There's also things called Silver Sneakers. It's for free gym memberships for like Medicare patients. I like to get the people involved more in the Western Mass elder care. I don't know if we have a diabetic nutritional nurse that we can talk to. I like to start some things like a Stavros program, which is a stay-at-home program funded by the state, and that's to help people things that they might need for home, like if they need lights that, you don't want to say like the clapper, but you can do something like, I don't have it at home. It's the thing that you talk to. Siri, is it?
Or Alexa.
Thank you, Alexa. And you ask her to turn the lights on so they can go to the bathroom, things like that. I think that would be helpful if they knew about things like that. I don't know things about that either for my parents, because you don't know until you start reading these things. Let's see. I think I did talk about a little bit of how to track the clients of like movie nights, TV nights, dancings, There's another thing I was thinking about. I know we probably have something on how to learn things on the computer, but what about smart TVs and smartphones? Do you have anybody that could help them with that? Like I ask my kids because that's not my thing. I'm more into canning and vegetable garden than computers. I think I told you a little bit that I was trying to do some self-help by taking some classes, introduction to communication skills, leadership skills, safeguarding vulnerable adults for different things like scams and things. I was doing a certificate on that, and catching up on my CPR and AED. Is there anything else that you might think that?
You had mentioned expanding Meals on Wheels. How do you suggest, or what are your thoughts on how to expand that a little bit more for them?
I was reading an article, and it was saying, oh, they did so many of this Meals on Wheels, like say it was like 8,000, and then it expanded for more. And I don't know how many we're doing right now, but I would like to expand it to people who don't know about it. You know.
How would you do that?
How would I go about doing that?
Yes.
Well, I was hoping to look at some. I wrote that down too. Sorry. Where did I write that down? By going to different places, I was thinking about the library, like Dino Fest, the church. There's usually something to be done there, and there was something else I wrote for it too. Oh, maybe like to the GCAM, maybe something like that. There's always letters to be done too, but I think just talking to people more in like the library setting or something, or even like this year is one go to the little table there. We did that for the Granby music, just to promote things.
Good spot to get people.
I think so,
Come in.
in all ages.
Yeah.
Because some of these things I want to introduce, say like you have an elderly parent, you don't know how to help them to get these things. Some of these programs will help not just the individual, but the kids that are helping the parents find the things needed to help them.
I don't think so. Oh, actually, sorry. Yeah, one more thing. How are you with computers? There's 3 different software programs that the COA director uses currently, so I just didn't know how comfortable you are with using the computer. And I don't have the names of the software.
Oh, okay.
I think one of them is Publisher. I imagine she would use Excel for her budget and stuff like that. So,
well, I'm kind of familiar with Excel. We use it for our budget at home.
okay.
And I used to do programmings, but that was before Excel existed. And Microsoft I'm pretty good with, but Publisher, no, I'm not. But I'm sure there's classes to take on things like that.
Kathy, do you know what the 3 different softwares are that they use besides Publisher, Excel, and I'm trying to think what the other is. It just Microsoft? Yeah. Okay. So I know they currently use Publisher for the newsletter, right?
No, I'm familiar with it.
Do you have any questions for us since the last interview?
No.
I'm just reviewing all the questions from last time. You said something about these silver sneakers.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you do as far as activities? And respond to like type of things like that, where they get more involved, more exercising, and things like that. Give them something to the seniors, something more to do.
Like local? You know, one of the things I actually was thinking, because now that you get in West Street School, I didn't know if it was possible by having their own little like farm garden, and then some of the men who do like farming, they can grow some vegetables, and there's activity, there's togetherness, and the other thing is what they produce, they can give to the COA as nutritional things, so they're not opening a can of something or a bag of chips or something. They can go, oh, I've gotten a tomato and I can make a tomato sandwich for supper, or you know, just using the fresh salad, you know.
I like that. We are a farming town.
We are, and men do still like, you know, growing things.
Men,
Women, I'm sorry.
Electrode.
Sorry, I was just thinking my dad and my husband.
Yeah.
They were the ones in the garden. I was the one, you know, canning. Yeah, because that's the part I like.
You mentioned that now, and it makes me kind of think about, you know, a lot of people have these, I don't say makeshift gardens, but they're, you know, they're built up on like
I've got some
big wooden things.
Mhm.
Yeah, big raised beds and stuff like that. They grow all these different things.
Or the World War II victory gardens, you know. But I'm thinking if we do something like that, get everybody involved, but we need someone who's gonna, you know, do the plowing first, dig up the dirt so we can plant things.
That's something you'd have to look into there.
Yeah.
They're dealing with the leach fields.
Okay.
Okay.
That's how I was almost thinking. Something just based off that. She's talking about small raised gardens.
Okay, instead. Okay.
You know, yeah.
There's just a higher cost volume on that one first.
But it's something for the senior or something. To me, and I like the idea because it gives them something to do. Well, but also there's another part to it. Like you said, you're growing their own vegetables, so some people want to take things home that, you know, it doesn't make a difference. You know, start growing tomatoes, cucumbers, peppers, lettuce.
And it's pride in their work, you know.
You raise bad food in the Green Scout project or something.
There you go. Yeah. That's a good idea. I didn't think of that one. I was thinking of more like plowing, like we do.
I'd rather have people
It's less bending.
around, pick up little
Yeah. It is definitely less bending.
Yeah, I'm kind of thinking of some people that almost have the right height and they can do stuff. Yeah.
They can get a little chair out there.
Yeah.
Worry about
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. Greatly appreciate it.
Sure. Thanks for the second round.
Moving right along, we have citizen participation. We have Tom Irwin. So.
Thank you, sir.
Top sheet is my comments. The second page is an updated resolution. Third page gives you a list of all the different communities that are involved. And the final two pages are the piece out of the 2030 solid waste master plan. Good evening, Mr. Chairman and Select Board members. My name is Tom Irwin, and I live at 54 Central Ave in Dalton. We last discussed paint stewardship, the program that allows people to drop off unwanted paint at participating retailers at no cost, on November 6th. The focus at that time was getting legislative support. That effort, now complete, led to 29 representatives and 12 senators co-sponsoring this legislation, which facilitated paint stewardship being viewed favorably on October 18th and sent to the House Ways and Means Committee for further consideration. This is reason for optimism. The task now before us is to clearly demonstrate to the Ways and Means Committee that municipalities view implementing programs that bring relief to the solid waste crisis, such as paint stewardship, are important. Ways and Means legislators have commented that having supportive resolutions from at least 40 municipalities would be interpreted as demonstrating the needed level of priority for the House Ways and Means Committee to consider this legislation. Presently, 23 municipalities have passed resolutions or have written letters of endorsement. Tonight, I respectfully request that Granby consider adding their valued supportive resolution to this effort. These resolutions are consistent with state plans. In the residential waste section of the 38-page Mass DEP 2030 Solid Waste Master Plan, which you have a copy of, EPR is called out as contributor to moving the state to zero waste. Of particular note, the master plan calls for a 30% reduction in waste by 2030 as compared to 2018, and a 90% reduction by 2050. The question is how can we possibly achieve this without stewardship programs? Why is the law even needed? Without the protection of this law, an antitrust suit can be brought against Paint Care, the nonprofit that receives the fee collected at time of purchase to cover the cost of hauling and processing paint. Any suit will cost millions to litigate and bankrupt this nonprofit system. In addition to the state, there is broad support. Paint manufacturers and paint retailers who work together along with consumer groups and the government over a 5-year period to create this law support having this law. The 3,000 Massachusetts residents that signed petitions, including over 50 people from Granby, and the embarrassingly large number of Massachusetts residents bringing their unwanted paint to our neighboring states, clearly support this law. And this legislation is supported by bipartisan groups in the legislature. So the ask is that since significant municipal support through resolutions is critical to compel serious consideration and favorable review of paint stewardship by the Ways and Means Committee, so that it is sent to the floor for vote, I respectfully request that the Granby Selectboard add to their valued endorsement of paint stewardship by passing a supportive resolution. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Can I ask you a question? You might have to come up to the mic because they won't be able to hear you at home. I know you came in November to talk to us about this. So you said that this is the updated one. So what has changed from the November when you came here? There's a lot that you just read to us, and I'm a visual person. So.
Sure.
Okay.
So the updates are, the one thing is the focus. The focus previously was getting enough support so we could move the legislation from the Environmental and Natural Resources Committee to the Ways and Means. And so that has been accomplished. We had the 29 representatives and the 12 senators represents greater support than this legislation has ever seen before, which is a hallmark of the grassroots effort having a positive impact on it. It was also coupled with the packaging legislation. And that was done because the paint stewardship was seen as being very favorably viewed, and they want the packaging to kind of carry some of the momentum from paint. So it's a compliment. The focus now is that we just have to we don't have to twist any arms. We just have to let them know it matters. And we do that by sending resolutions to them from communities. And the Berkshires is positioned to have somewhere between 80 and 90% of their population represented by the resolutions. And I believe that it will be approximately 50% of Hampden County. And I'm still working hard in Hampshire County.
So the bills came out of committee?
Came out of the Environment and Natural Resources Committee and is now before the House Ways and Means.
Okay. You refresh my recollection on how this is getting paid for.
The paint, when you purchase a gallon of paint, you pay 75 cents a gallon, and that covers everything. And when you return the paint, it costs you absolutely nothing. They don't care when you got it, they don't care where you got it, they don't care what state you live in. They will accept it as long as it's the original can, original label, and still liquid, they'll accept it.
And what are some of the retailers, let's say 20 miles around Granby?
Well, you've got the Ace Hardware in Springfield. I'm obviously from Dalton, so I don't buy anything really here.
Just the Ace in Springfield, or is it
Oh, no.
the whole Ace hardware store? Rockies, or whatever they call it.
Rockies. It is going to be Sherwin-Williams. It'll be True Value stores. It'll be Aubuchon. It'll be, Car Hardware if they have a setup out here in the Pioneer Valley. Any of the smaller retailers will be likely to join in on this.
But none of the big box stores.
Big box stores tend to say no, and this is a division of labor that makes both groups happy. The big box stores say, we got so much traffic, we don't know what to do with it. The little box stores say, we'll be more than happy to take the people that are trying to get rid of their Lowe's or Home Depot or Walmart paint, having them trot through our store because it's going to increase our foot traffic.
Okay.
And I went to, because I'm, as an engineer, I don't believe nothing until I see it. I went to the stores in Connecticut, Vermont, and New York, talked to multiple retailers, talked to consumers to make sure this thing was really working as advertised and not, there wasn't encumbrance. And asking what complaints they have, and they said, well, I'd like it for free. Everything would be free, but it isn't. But in the net, it's a good service. Our people appreciate it. It doesn't take that much effort. As long as we've got 2 people in the store, it's a no-brainer. So that's pretty much the story.
So both the paint comes to these stores.
Yep.
And where does it go to get this?
They put it in, what happens is put in plastic totes that hold about 200 cans a pop. And then Paint Care, the national group that's been put together to take care of everything post facto, comes, picks up the full tote, hauls it to a reprocessing plant. There's one in Hanover, Massachusetts, as an example, so it would be within our state. They take and reprocess the paint. They can reprocess about 80% of latex and just put additives in, blend it how it's necessary, and re-put it in new cans and sell it for 50% of the original cost. But generally you go through restore, things of that nature. And the oil-based paints, 20% of that can be reprocessed, but typically at this point 100% of it gets sent to the south and is used as a co-fuel in cement plants that have the particulate precipitators and the scrubbers necessary to make sure you don't put any pollution in the atmosphere.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It really does. I mean, stuff that is going to be a waste, but now it's going to be repurposed for something.
I love the idea that it's going to decrease the amount of waste going to our landfill by 0.5%, set up a model, and that mattresses and solar panels and lithium car batteries and so forth can follow suit. It's a law that was put together with cooperation between 2002 and 2007. Those 4 parties, the manufacturers, retailers, consumers, government, sat and argued and moaned and groaned until they came up with language and responsibilities that all 4 parties could live with. They shrugged their shoulders. That's the law. And the beauty is, too, is that all 11 states that have the law, including our 5 neighbors that do, its law is the same, and, aside from very minimal nuances.
Right.
So it makes it easy for the National Paint Care Organization to administer the whole thing.
So there's step 1. You're going to paint first, then you're going to do the solar panels, car batteries.
Mattress is second.
Mattress.
And the beauty of paint is it's been proven in 5 states around us. So our risk is really minimal to non-existent. I like to call it vanishingly small. Mattress is the same way. It's been proven in Connecticut and Rhode Island already. So when we implement that next, and there's a huge problem with all these mattresses, it should be another no-brainer.
Yeah.
It'll take more work with solar panels, but they just passed a law like that in Oregon, so I'm hopeful that in 4 years, when it becomes the issue here, that we'll have enough history that we'll have a good law for that as well.
So these are House bills?
H 823 is the House bill, S 542 and S 551 are the Senate bills.
Senate bills.
Yep.
Well, it's a good thing that it's made to the Ways and Means Committee.
I'm very pleased and excited.
That's where it's going to get some action, hopefully. It doesn't die there.
Well, I've got 23 so far, and I've got a bunch of presentations to go that should put us up even closer to 50. So I'm enthusiastic and encouraged. And if what time wasn't a constraint, I'd make it at 100.
I actually have a meeting tomorrow night with some of our local delegation. I'm actually going to bring it up. That's one of the things I actually was going through some of the paperwork you brought up last time you were here. And I have the opportunity to sit down with all three of them. So
Great. You have my card. If they have
I do.
questions, please tell them, and I'd be more than delighted to answer any questions. Come and share the information. I consider myself an information resource. I spent a lot of time on this. Saved them a lot of time trying to dig into it.
I think Tom, like you said too, it just makes sense. You know, all the states around us are doing it. Then why aren't we doing it?
Right.
So,
Very low risk.
Hopefully some of this gets up to the governor's office as well. And she's been talking about doing away with plastic bottles and stuff like that. You've already seen executive order on that in regards to state agencies will do it. So I think that's right,
It's all consistent.
and I think it's consistent with her philosophy is. So
Totally agree. Totally agree. Thank you so much. Really appreciate your support.
thank you. Well, Timothy? All right. I can't see what your last name is. Abbott. Abbott? Okay.
11 Deerbrook. I've been helping Tom. He told me about it when he first put it all together about paint, and he asked me to come tonight just as a resident of Granby, just to show my support for his paint care. Like you said, I think it makes a lot of sense. We all have paint cans.
Yeah.
Don't really know what to do with them. To actually be able to recycle it, they go to Habitat for Humanity. So I think it's a really great program. So yeah. That's about it.
Like I said, I'll say it again. Just it makes sense. I mean, like you said, it's just
Right.
all it's people do look what to do with waste and paint when they have half a gallon, quarter gallon, whatever it may be.
Right.
And I think of it too as almost not the same level, but to the point where we have a statewide initiative for prescription drug take back. And there's a reason why for that, because they don't want it being, flushed down the toilet, things being thrown out in the trash, going into our landfills and stuff like that. So it's the same type of philosophy. It's something that can do harm to our environment. So why not look at other ways that can, use it, repurpose it for the right reasons?
Yeah, we were getting signatures at the farmers markets, and it was so easy. Like, people would walk by and we'd say, "Hey, would you want to sign this petition?" A lot of people are hesitant, but once they actually listen to it, and they're like, "Wow, this makes a lot of sense." A lot of people have it in their basement, in their garage, and don't really know what to do with it. So to actually be able to recycle it, it's good.
Anything else?
All right.
Anything else?
No, thanks a lot.
Thank you. Thank you. Tom, before you leave, have a few of your cards. Let's have the opportunity to want to hand them out. Please. Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. If you folks decide to get adjourned, questions.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sounds great. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Take care. Have a good night. Thank you again. Assistant Town Administrator.
I have none, but if you want to go over any of the old business. I did talk with Chris, because I'm interested, I gave him the job description for the town position. But if you want to go over that and then, talk about it at the next meeting.
I think,
Or you want, if you're okay with it, you want to be talking about posting it somewhere.
I'd rather wait for Chris to be back, just because the reason being that he knows the position.
Yeah.
So I'd like to make sure that we're not missing anything with it. I know he had a big part in it, so just that we can follow up with any questions on it.
Yep, 202 Mass DOT project, we're working on the electricity project. I don't have any updates on the board now, but on one stop for both, Chris had put in 2 applications. We didn't hear back on the West Green one, and that doesn't qualify this year.
Did you say why? Okay.
And open space plan, we did get the DLP.
Yep, we did. And Mimi Kaplan will be in touch on agenda and a meeting schedule. Yeah.
5 payments update, we have the draft complaint. And you can send it to you. It's in the correspondence folder, because just wanted to attend to on this
Now, is there anything that we have to do on our end? Okay. Okay.
So not to interrupt you, but unless I'm going to, I just did. For our next meeting, if our town council, Brian O'Toole, is available, in just regards to, okay, so I did have a conversation with them, and we talked about the 5 corners, Allen's property, Allen property there, in regards to how it impacts the town, so on and so forth. So it's definitely a lot of interesting information, as I was talking to him about it, so we can schedule him to come in next month. Okay. Yeah.
And then on the NWRA water, he started an application in to sign us up for a public water supply, and part of the progress, the process, excuse me, will be going into the space, and I started that process.
Excellent.
And I'm nothing on the senior 4 block program. West Street school building is this meeting will be starting to speak to all the department heads to see about what kind of space they want to put that.
It might be a good thing to maybe sometime in April have them on our agenda to kind of get an update to where they are and what's going on with it. And that might be, something good for like a reoccurring every month or something like that. Just a quick update, so we can kind of update the town.
From the committee?
From the committee, yes. I want to where they are with things.
And then charter days, I just need clarification because I get lots of phone calls and paperwork and that people do get things and stuff and for food and stuff like that. What's going on?
Well, according to the Charter Days Committee, they want to postpone it until next year. A lot of it had to do with just the needed support, and the committee was really nervous about not having the needed amount of people to participate, really the volunteers, to make it happen. And the last thing they wanted to do is take on something that was going to fail. And time-wise too, it's closer than we anticipated. It's really a full, brand new committee. a lot of work has gone in the past, and I know, especially Crystal being a past chair and a past committee member, just the amount of time, effort, and work that goes into it. It is very demanding, and that's a concern that the committee had. Just kind of like, maybe we put the brakes on and wait till next year so we can make sure that we do it right and we cover everything that needs to be covered. Last thing we want to do is get involved in it, and it's a four person committee. It's a 3-day event, and it's a 3-day event, but it's technically even longer, and it takes a lot of time. It's also a full day on a Friday, full day on a Saturday, and even though Sunday is half a day, it's a full day. And when I say full day, I don't mean 8 to 4. It's more like a 7 in the morning till 11 o'clock at night, and it's just having a volunteer there. And I've had some experience volunteering over the years, and I didn't mind staying, because I know we're just like, because just shorthanded. However, I don't want people to feel like that, that they have to stay, because I don't think that's fair to, and then what do you do if someone can't stay? Then, they feel like they have to stay. And now we just send a bad message to that person that wanted to volunteer for like next year. I'm not myself, but that person may say, I'm not going to volunteer next year. I was supposed to be there for 2 hours. I'm there for 6 hours.
Yeah.
So,
Or more.
right. And more. And you see it. And I think that's where we were with it, and kind of looking at, what, for the future, as the things that we can sub out, if you will. There's a certain thing that we can pay to have people take care of. The trash was a big concern. How much effort and time goes in just to collecting the trash each day. And if you don't have someone to do that, what happens? So can that be something that is, subbed out to someone else that they do all the trash work? Staff, volunteers to clean the bathroom. No one wants to clean the bathroom. That came up. We talked to a couple of people. I'm like, I'm not cleaning the bathroom. I'm not cleaning the bathroom. And these are real things. How do you ask someone to volunteer to go in there and clean the toilet?
So I didn't ask them to clean the toilet. I cleaned the toilet myself.
Well, but to that point, though,
Yeah.
Crystal, too,
Yeah.
it's not
You
right.
can't. Yeah,
It's
you
not.
can't ask somebody to do
Right,
it.
and it's unfair to even to ask someone on the committee to do that. And that's what I'm talking about. Those are the things that happen behind the scenes that need to take place, and I don't think people realize how much. So when the committee was talking, like, all right, these are some of the things that we can, if you have someone come in and kind of take care of the cleaning crew, and we'll pay, take care of the trash, take care of this, and then that takes the burden off how many volunteers you actually need, and just maybe be built into a cost, so to make it work.
Yeah. There's nothing written in the rides contract that says that like what year the 3 contract ends or anything like that, so it can be extended. I do, when you have your next charter day committee meeting, the Finelli's owner, Joe Finelli, reached out to me, and he has a proposition for you guys, so I don't want to, it's the committee that makes the decision, so I want to bring it to you guys, so just let me know when your next meeting is. I think a letter needs to go out to the food vendors and everyone who's been there in the past, like Luana Gym and stuff like that, so if the committee can draft a letter just saying that we're postponing it. And then I know Sue and I had talked about the Facebook page, so as of right now, I'm still getting all the messages for all that, and I've been taking care of what I can. I don't want to overstep the committee, but just what you had released last week, I just said it's being postponed, and I left it at that. But I think if you guys give me a message that you want me to put out there, and then Sue, or if I just give it to Sue and Sue can take over, or however you guys want to do it. Now, with that said, I'm willing to help, and I'm willing to be a chair for a day. I just don't want the whole weekend done. I know we've talked about that.
Chair for a day.
But we talked about that was in the proposal, a chair a day, because it's just unfair to ask somebody to be there the whole weekend.
Right, and what Crystal's talking about, where the chairperson has to be there every single day, the whole entire day. And it's a huge.
And the treasurer needs to be
Yeah,
there
the
with
treasurer
someone
for
to
the money.
double count the money every single minute of the day. It's a lot.
So, like you
That's what
said,
I'm saying. Like if I have a committee on the day I run, you have a committee on the day you run, and someone else has it on Sunday, it's doable then. And then you wouldn't have to so much sub a couple things out, but I mean, we're not gonna make anything to have it there for the following year if we sub everything out. That's the only downfall to it. So just a whole bunch of things that we can work out in a charity
Right.
committee meeting, but we need more help. We asked for it when we were when I ran the committee. You're asking for it now. We can't do it with 7, 4, 3.
did you guys ever reach out to the scouts at all? They have community service work.
Yes, but they do the fishing derby on Friday, and that's what they were willing to do. They used to do the dunk
Oh, really?
take. They didn't want to do the dunk take anymore. It's a lot to ask families to do.
I'm talking about the scouts. You can put that.
No, that's the Boy Scouts. That's what they used to do. So when I was on the chair for the committee, I reached out to them, and they were barely able to hold a tent there. They were able to do the fishing derby, but afterwards they used to do other events.
Yes.
And they didn't have enough parents to volunteer and enough kids to volunteer to come. So we did reach out.
But
Yeah.
it is.
It's a lot of it's a huge commitment all around. So
And that's it. You know, I think, you know, Crystal started off very early last year after Charter Days was done. I think even before Charter Days was done, saying,
yeah, we need
I'm not doing it next year. We need people. And I'll be honest, I have a full schedule myself. Just what I do and I do for the town and being on this board. But you didn't want something to fall by the wayside. But again, there's a committee of 4 of us, and and I continue to say throughout different meetings, we need volunteers, and this is definitely something that needs to take place. So, and it seems like it's always the same people volunteering, and those people just get burnt out. They get burnt out there. So we need.
Yeah, that would be good on the town website, just letting them know it's postponed until 2025.
And I can tell you, when the committee met, it was not an easy decision. We went back and forth, talking about it. Well, maybe we could do this, maybe we could do that, maybe we could do this. And it's all said and done. It wasn't an easy decision to say, well, we'll just wait till next year. But then again, they said, the people on the committee, their names are attached to it. So they want to make sure if we're going to do something, we do it right. But, and again, it's almost like you have to have the buy-in from people to be involved with, Crystal has said many times. And not just that, it's not just this year, it's the following year, the year after. It's just having, we were talking about, when we appoint committee members, you stagger them. So you have different committee members that will follow through to the following year, so someone's still there. Yeah. Something like that, so things to think about, it's you think about it, and some of the committee members reached out to other towns that have their fairs, and they have a lot of buy-in, a lot of help to do it, so that's where we struggle with it.
Well, the Belchertown Fair, the lady that runs that, Glenn, had called me, and she said that they have about 7 people on the committee, but they get everyone to show up for the weekend, and that's, you can plan it,
Right.
But to execute it with 4 or 7 people, it's very hard, especially when you have a volunteer that doesn't show up, and now you have nobody to do that job, and now who do you get to do it? So, you get family. Hopefully that will step up, but you could only ask people for so much.
Yeah, and those people get frustrated, they get burnt out, and like they said, I don't want to do it. What's the point of doing it?
With that said, you did have, you were sick the day that Nick Robinson came in and wanted to be on the Charter Day Committee, so I wanted to give this to you because we didn't feel right to appoint someone to the Charter Day Committee without the person on the Charter Day Committee being here. He did help.
Don't let me ever stop you from appointing anybody to the Charter.
Well, we felt like we should honor you and having you present. So Nick Robinson was a huge help. He did all the snow fencing for us. He got the Belchertown Courthouse to have volunteers to come and help him with the fencing. He got the parkers, the flaggers for us. He was a huge help on the committee, and he will work hard. So he would like to be appointed to the Charter Day Committee.
I was told when you said you wanted to be part of the committee.
So I will make a motion to appoint Nick Robinson to the Charter Day Committee for should we do it for the, how does that work now if we're postponing it? They're still on the committee
You're
this
still
year
on
because
the
you're still gonna plan it.
Until June 30th, 2024.
Okay, and then re-up it.
Re-up
Okay. So until June, is it June 30th, 2024?
Second.
Yeah, I'll second that.
Appreciate it.
Do you want me to repeat it so it's all in one sentence?
No.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed?
Thank you, Nick, for listening.
All right.
He will be happy.
Give Nick the good news, and honestly, and more importantly, thank him for stepping up. That's great. We are now a committee of 5 and growing every day. All right.
So that was Charter Days. The spring cookout, we're good, right? We have it planned. Okay. Do any letters need to go out or anything to all the department heads, letting them know? Because we were gonna have them there as well, right? Well,
Yes, I think we do the same
Yeah.
things we've done in the past. I think it's nice, and I think the seniors appreciate that, and they get to see the department heads, so. So they take part in it too, which is, I think is, we have additional people helping, especially this is gonna be a cookout, so the extra hands will make a difference. No, let's just, Chris, I looked at what you had. Actually, I had something from before. I don't know what, I know this is gone by the wayside a couple of times. You just get caught up in our meetings and other things. They take more time we expected. There is, but I highlighted all the things I thought that were good on it. This is what he sent out a while ago. Piggyback. So I think our goal at one of the meetings was to kind of take what we wanted from them, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
And then Kathy, did you send this one out to everyone too? The one that you had typed up from? Okay. So he's got the older one that I took pieces of, and then we had this document.
I saw that one too.
Yeah. Okay.
But I don't think we ever got to the point where everybody took an input from the older one, right? We never got to that part. So I don't know if people still have that or not.
I don't, not on me.
But like I said, I just kind of looked through, yes.
That's the old one?
Yes. So I kind of just looked through and I thought which ones would be,
I have the
I thought which would be good parts of it. And just thought that if you did that and Crystal did that, and that everybody has their part of what they thought on the evaluation.
Yeah.
Anything additional that they thought that may not have been part of that. And we can submit that to.
So my parts were submitted in a document that Kathy typed up. So, like the ones that I highlighted to a document. So I don't know if you want to now take that and kind of work it into this one and kind of get a final draft then.
Did you pull the ones off this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we can do that. It might be a lot of the same ones.
Okay.
If it's not, then just have the ones I have. And take out Crystal's.
Good, you don't need this one though, because you already have that document. And
Right,
do
if
you
you
have
It's
the-
all kind of standardized.
Yeah,
On it, I didn't see anything wrong with this one.
okay.
I didn't say, like I said, I just took out what I liked from it. Some of them I didn't think applied to what I was looking for. So,
And can, I was hoping that you or Rick could help me understand how the performance evaluation works. So it says in the, TA contract that it's approved. So the, select board shall evaluate the performance of the administrator in writing in accordance with the approved personnel board's evaluation instrument. When I reached out to them, when I first, tried to research this, they said they didn't have one. So we're using our own instrument then, right? That's what we're
creating one
right
that
now?
needs to be
Okay.
used, yeah.
All right, and then it says an individual evaluation shall be prepared by each board member and submitted to the chairman, which would be you, who shall then meet with the administrator and conduct the evaluation. Then you write it. So this is the sentence I was curious about. The final evaluation form shall be signed by the board of the chairman and the administrator and placed in his personal file. So do you take everything that all three of us do and then type up a final one? Or like, what does that mean? The final evaluation form?
Where'd that come from?
This is from his contract,
So I would,
the TA's contract.
what I think that would be is that
It has to be on camera. So I'm not too happy with that part. One of them told me have to evaluate them on camera. Here.
well, it's job performance unless it's something that is considered to be.
I'm pretty sure he's told me that.
What is it? It's job performance? It's not. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's one of the things from being a working for public. So back to my thought is that after we finalize the actual evaluation, each of us will get a copy of it.
Okay.
And then each one will take a look at it, and we'll write our thoughts and stuff as such on that particular question.
So I write up my evaluation, Rick does his, you do yours.
Right.
Then you meet with them and you
Meet
go
with
over.
them, and I just gonna what I want to do is just combine.
Okay.
And I say combine them. I don't mean change people. But I'm not going to change what you said. I'm not going to change what you said because I think it's important for each board member to put down as to how they feel about it.
Okay.
So what I may do is that
So
we have for example, we have one question, and we all write our stuff, and one is totally different than everybody else. We may have a discussion about, say, okay, I saw it this way, I saw it this way. Well, why are we so much different? Because as an employee, we need to agree upon what we see and how it's being evaluated. You shouldn't be saying, I think he's doing an excellent job. Then I shouldn't be saying, well, I think he's doing a poor job in this area. There's got to be a conversation between us because as the select board, we're doing the evaluation to say, well, okay, where's the area we're going to meet in the middle?
yeah, I don't know how you did them at work, but for the last 30 years of the trial court unit, we always did employee self evaluated first before the manager. You sat down with the manager.
So they would evaluate them.
He did his own evaluation, or he or she did their own evaluation, but you had to do your own there. Did you guys do that there?
Some places do the self-evaluation, some places don't.
No.
I think sometimes it's helpful because you ask that the employee reflects back on what they've done, how they see they've done the years.
Yeah.
This isn't. I look at this as, it's an eval by committee, really, and that's so we're going to try different parts. Like I said, if there's a certain area that each, the board members just in a disagreement about that, then that's something we need to discuss and talk about.
Yeah.
Because
No, I understand that.
that's
Yeah.
the thing. I mean, I'm not for or against really whether or not we want Chris Way's self-evaluation piece.
Yeah.
But if so, that's the first step is for us to determine what questions we're going to answer this.
It's the same.
So that would, you know, have to give them free self-evaluation, but nowhere in the contract does say that. So
It says that he can write a letter,
if he doesn't agree
in
with
response to it, yeah.
Maybe you don't agree with something or write a letter in response, so. That's just where I am with that. That's not part of his contract, so,
Okay.
I don't see any at this point.
Okay.
The future contract could be added in, but it's not part of one now, so.
Yeah, you can't. Is it done in there, right?
You can ask him to do it, but I think, you know, it's our part just to do the evaluation on it as we see. And it really, it's a tough evaluation because we have, you know, really limited interaction with Chris to a point. You know, he's here 40 hours, and I say 40 hours, he's probably here 55, 60 hours a week in reality, but it's to, you know, do the evaluation, and that's why I think, you know, each one of us have some different degree of relationship with Chris as far as what we discuss and things like that, interactions. I think that's why it's important that all of us to come together and that each one of us, our views are shared as far as the evaluation. So that you know, Crystal might have examples where she worked with Chris on a certain project, and that's noted in there. You might have an example, you worked with Chris on this or that. Same thing for myself. And I think that's big where we're doing the evaluation that we do provide examples. And if you're saying someone is really good, well, we should be providing examples why that person is really good. If we're saying there's an issue with something, then we should say why we see that and give examples as well.
So, to be clear, we haven't done, so I've been on the select board for 2 years, we haven't done an evaluation, it says at least twice each year, so do we wanna do it for the 2-year span? Because, like you said, there's different things that happen each year, I don't wanna evaluate him on something that happened before I was here, I can't, I wasn't here. But you've been here much longer, so we should kind of have like a time frame that we're evaluating him for.
What does the contract say? It's yearly?
It says it's twice a year, each year. To discuss his performance as well as the working relationship between the board and the administrator.
Jesse, do we have a copy of his job description? They get a copy of that.
So I just want to make sure we're not being unfair in evaluating him from something that happened years ago, and we're just sticking to a certain time frame.
The time frame would be year, 2 years, 3 years, what, 6?
Well, that's the thing is, I don't think he should be, because it says twice a year. Should we only 6 this year? Should we stick to last year and this year? I don't know if I would go far back to 6 years or 9 years.
I think honestly,
That's just your experience.
Yeah.
it says twice a year.
Yeah.
So, well, I'd say that we do one now for the past 6 months,
Okay.
and we schedule another one for 6 months from that time frame. There's got to be an actual window that this is considering. I don't think it's, the contract says twice a year, so we can't go back and do a year evaluation because,
Right.
in fairness, for the town, that Chris's contract does not say that, and you come back and say, look, it's not my fault you haven't done the evaluation, which is true.
Right.
And unfortunately, these are part-time positions, and it's, you know, it's difficult sometimes, you know, for all of us to, you know, just to meet and discuss things with all the other things we have going on with the agendas as well.
So the term started on July 1st for this year. But we want to go, do we want to go to July 1st?
I don't go back, well,
6 months.
I don't want, well, we go back to July 1st of last year. So this evaluation would be from July 1 through December 31st.
Okay.
All right, and then the next one's going to start January 1st through June 30th.
Okay.
Okay. And then I'd ask, you know, whether or not what happens with you, what you're going to do. But for some reason, you're not here, that you give us input prior. So we can do a fair evaluation.
Oh, yeah.
Sounds good.
You're trying to tell me you're going to write me in? You're trying to tell me you're going to write me in?
I am. So actually, Kathy, so this is mine. I have Crystal. Rick is pretty much okay with everything, or no?
No, I didn't see anything wrong with that.
Okay. So,
Like based on what I went through in my ad job. That's the problem with it.
so if Rick is fine with everything, if that's, I mean, I didn't do everything, so
Yeah,
if he's fine with everything, then
He's fine with what he has. He's fine.
yeah, he might be happy. I mean, if we're doing all three mistakes, that's the whole thing. Yeah, that just comes out through the whole entire thing. So, all right.
You guys want to thin it down? Is that what you?
Yeah, there were some of the things that I don't think pertain to his job description.
And that's where I was. You know, I think I think I took a couple each page. And maybe,
Yeah.
I mean, a couple of them for each page.
Yeah, the back.
Yeah. And some of them seem like,
no organizations.
well, some of them seem like they were asked somewhere else too.
Don't comment.
Hmm?
Don't comment.
But that's the thing is if it's on the,
You have to cover
yeah, if it's on the
It's on it, yeah.
evaluation, you have to evaluate that piece.
And like I said, I would ask too, after we get it, go down that next part, but that, we're giving examples in each area. That if you're writing something, that you do give something as examples to, you know, if someone is being, if it's being average, then I'll. So we're good with that?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, moving right along. That's everything off the old and any other business, correct?
Yep.
All right, so we can move back to accept the departmental reports.
Well, for Japan, she said we don't have anything, right? Sorry, Glenn, I'm noticing
What?
we didn't do the green communities, but I think the West Street Building Committee put that on hold, right, until the RFP.
Oh, sorry, I thought we went through everything we got down.
No, in the senior workout program, we said that you didn't have any update on that.
I did.
This is
Right.
still working on that.
I thought we made it all the way down to the town administrator evaluation. Thanks, that was the last one, but I thought that we were done. All right.
All right, so the last thing up here was that update on Council on Aging. So just so the board knows, as the liaison for the Council on Aging, I did speak with Lisa today. Her last day is March 22nd. She will be going away for 10 days, but should the Council on Aging need any help or any assistance when she comes back, she's willing to help out at an hourly rate. So that's something that we can lean on should we need her. She's willing to help train whoever the COA director is that comes in, and she's also willing to help with the newsletter. The newsletter for April is already done because she's always a month ahead on that, so that will already be printed and it will already go out. But she just wanted to let everyone know that she's not going to be unreachable, or she's willing to support in any way that she can. So she just wanted me to let the select board know that as well.
Yeah, appreciate
Very,
it.
yeah, nice.
They continue to help with the transition as we move forward. And I know, just that kind of, so people know, we did have another candidate before that we were, we entered into negotiations for this position. Unfortunately, things didn't work out. So we moved on to our other candidates. I know people probably watched it in the past. We're probably thinking that we had someone. Well, we did, but unfortunately, it just wasn't. We couldn't come to an agreement in regards to the contract at this time. So.
So with that said, were we going to bring in the other candidate? So I don't think we have anything scheduled with that candidate at this time. At least I didn't see it on the agenda for today.
So, no, so our other one is, Zoe Greenberg, is that correct? So it's, she's brought forward from the committee?
No, we didn't. So because we've had so few applicants, the Council on Aging hiring committee has not been meeting. Chris has just been bringing it straight to the board so that we don't delay the interview process as we're looking for or in search of a candidate for a new Council on Aging director, because that's just going to prolong it.
Right.
And we've only had 3 applicants, this being our 3rd one.
Natalie, did Natalie go through that? Natalie went through it.
No, Natalie came straight to the board.
Okay, so she did.
No, she came straight to the board, and we asked the questions that the committee would
Right,
ask.
I remember.
Yeah, at the
I
meeting.
remember the her interview process, or interview. Right. No, I think we, should, okay. Was there a time window for, so we're fine, we didn't say it, so I think we should, obviously interview Zoe as well.
Do we want to have a separate meeting for that, or do we want to wait till March 18th? Because that's a long time to wait.
I see.
Why don't we do next Monday? Does that work for everybody?
Hang on. I don't think.
Or you want like an alternative date too, just in case she's not available.
I can do next Monday.
Yeah, 5:30.
Or
6.
Tuesday, Wednesday, we could do it Thursday.
March 7th? Or are you talking about the following?
No, this Thursday, we just need
Yeah.
48 hours to post it. Business hours, so if we wanna do it, why don't we say if she's available this Thursday,
Okay.
we can do this Thursday, if not, we'll do Monday. That way we have 2 dates then, cause
5:30?
that way we have a couple options, so we're not waiting and finding out, well, Monday didn't work, we're postponing further.
We can do it for the 7th.
And Kathy, you'll just email us and let us know.
Chief, did you have anything for us, or just enjoying the meeting? All right. You all set with it?
Yeah.
All right. And Kathy, just can you let us know by email, obviously, just what day works for. And if you could print up the list of the questions, the same thing we've done before.
And send them to her as well.
Go to either 7:30 or 11.
Yes. And Kathy, too, if we can put on our agenda for the 18th, maybe have a discussion in regards to Lisa and how we go about that, because we need to have some type of transition period too. As well to help out, we need to look at some type of payment, now
I believe
wage.
she said 2 days.
Okay, so that's helpful.
Do we want her at that meeting for that discussion? Do you want to talk about it with the select board first and then have her there? But I mean, if we don't have her there with the criteria, it's going to be kind of hard to figure out how we want to, how the transition's going to work if she's not there. So as far as she told me today, she's willing to help out
She's
with
back
either way
for 10 days, starting
after the 22nd.
after.
Yeah. But if we're going to negotiate an hourly rate,
Well, we gotta
figure
find
it out first with the
we gotta
select
figure
board.
out a person first, and then we'll work with her, like you said, and then what days work for her, and then we put everything together. So, but no, just knowing that she's willing to help out twice. She needs help, so go back as well. Anything else? Do we move into our new business?
Nope.
Departmental reports.
I will make a motion to approve departmental reports for the week for the week beginning in 2/26.
Alright, there's a second.
April 2nd.
Any further discussion?
Nope.
Nope.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Okay. We have approved and signed maintenance warrants.
Alright, I will make a motion to approve warrant number 53. This is the payroll warrant dated 3/1/2024 in the amount of $445,933.88.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed?
Just abstaining from teachers and select board salary,
Alright.
but otherwise in favor.
And Eric and I, as vote in regards to the select board salaries out of any necessity. So we all get paid.
Next one is a motion to approve warrant number 54. This is a maintenance warrant in the amount of dated March 1st, 2024, in the amount of $201,326.28.
I will second that.
Any further discussion? No? All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That's it, Crystal, for the warrants?
Yeah, because we did 6 of them last week.
Alright. Minutes. Okay, we have common vic licenses.
I will make a motion to approve common victualers license number 30 to Pioneer Valley Chapter 8 of NAFCA for 104 West State Street in Granby. In this place only expiring December 31st, 2024.
I will second that.
Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Thank you.
Is a motion to approve entertainment license number 10 for Pioneer Valley Chapter 8 Camping Club, 104 West State Street in Granby. This is for an entertainment license to provide entertainment to customers as follows. Live entertainment consisting of a DJ or small bands inside building for member events only, and live entertainment on the patio behind Maid Building between 12 p.m. and 10 p.m. only located at 104 West State Street, Granby, Mass. This license expires on December 31st, 2024.
Second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Done.
All in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? That is it for our agenda items. Does anybody have anything else that you want to quickly share or something else we need to bring up at our next meeting? Our next regular meeting, scheduled meeting?
I was going through all the paperwork that I received over all of our various meetings, and I just wanted to see if there was a follow-up to the Western Mass District proposal by the Director of Veteran Services. So Michael Slater, who's the VSO for South Hadley, had brought this to us back in August. And they were going to come to us late October, early November, with the proposal to go district. And I didn't know if Chris had an update for us on where that stands, because it's now way past that timeline, so I didn't know if.
I don't know if they have a update per se, but I do know that the gentleman from Holyoke who was where we visited,
Yeah.
he's no longer working in Holyoke.
That was Jesus, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And I believe Mr. Slater is also might be leaving South Hadley. So I have a feeling it's all up in the area. It's going to go that way.
Okay. And then,
We'll get an update maybe.
yeah, maybe Chris
Hey,
has heard something that we don't know about. Yeah, I think everything else was just a question for Chris, which I can ask him on my own, so.
Nothing.
I do have a question actually. Do we know when we're meeting with special town council for the gravel pit? Because I know our next meeting's coming up soon with them for the hearing. Yeah. Okay.
We're not gonna meet until that night. No, we'll meet, I'm sure beforehand. We'll do that, so. Anything else? I actually meant to mention this at our last meeting. I just really want to recognize our fire department for the job they did with Red Fire Farm, as well as thank the other surrounding towns, as well as I believe Westover, that assisted with it too. Those things sometimes happen, and devastation to one of our local businesses in our town. And I just, I think we acknowledge the effort and with the fire department and the firefighters, as well as very dangerous situation that they went into as well. And if anybody saw any of the pictures of how that fire looked, it was quite the large fire. So again, just really thank you to our town, our fire department, our firefighters, as well as thank you to the surrounding towns that participated. And I'd like to ask the board if we could have some type of letter written up from this board and sent out to each member of our fire department, as well as the surrounding towns, with their chief for each department who assisted with the fire.
I think that's a great idea, and also the police department who secured the area too, and they had to prevent traffic. It was a huge deal. Yeah,
Good point.
I think it's a great idea.
Maybe something we can look at for a future meeting, put something together, we can, draft something and send it out to this board. So again, I think sometimes those things happen, and it's the mutual aid, but I think it's as the representative of the town, I think we acknowledge that that we're thankful and grateful that they're there to assist, but also that no one was seriously injured during the fire as well. With that said, I definitely would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
For a second.
I would second that.
Any further discussion?
Negative.
One more thing, I'm just kidding.
All in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? All right. Thank you, folks.